Hey guys, Brandon Woldham with CCM Magazine, and today we are sitting here with Hope Darst. Long time no see.
I know. Hi, it's good to see you again.
Good. So, pretty cool couple weeks for you. There's going to be Hope Darst on the big screen in just a few days. What's the dates? The 6th and 7th or 7th and 8th?
Yeah, November 6th and 7th.
Yeah. K-Love live at Red Rocks is going to be in theaters nationwide.
I know.
How cool is that?
Crazy.
How's your daughters and family think of this?
Okay, this is embarrassing. I don't even know that we've talked about it. Like, they know it's happening, but we haven't really talked about it. And it is kind of funny. I mean, I never imagined in my whole life that I would be on a big screen. So I'm also not sure how I feel about being big on a big screen because you're just massive on those screens. But no, it's incredible. It's so exciting. What like a crazy honor to be a part of something so special.
Have you got to see a preview or anything on like a small screen yet?
Maybe.
But it's still going to be way different in theater.
It will be way different in theaters. And it's just like the whole team, Awakening, Caleb, that whole team, like Red Rocks, the crew, the videographers, all of it. They did such an incredible job capturing the two nights. And I think people are going to be really excited when they see it.
Yeah, take us back to July when this happened. We were talking earlier. It was not all perfect while you guys were there. It may look perfect on film, but there was some obstacles.
Yeah, the power of editing, right? No, so people that are familiar with Red Rocks know that the weather is like very temperamental. So when we got there, the day that we were going to shoot the first night, August 1st, we could tell like the weather was a little iffy. And as the day went on, we just kept getting lightning delays and rain delays. And, you know, it's just pushing sound checks and everything back. And eventually we get to when we're supposed to start the show and it's pouring rain. Like, and everyone is kind of going, what are we going to do? Because there was two stages. There was the main stage and then they had a stage that's like built out into the audience, which is where I was going to be performing with my band.
Which I assume is uncovered.
It's uncovered and it's pouring rain. And so we're standing like side stage going, what are we going to do? Like, we have all of keyboards, electric drums, pedals, guitars, you know, and like my band and I, it's like a stare off. Like, who's going to say it first? That like, are we willing to go out there and like risk all of this expensive equipment because we want to be like, we did Red Rocks?
Maybe electrocution.
Right, exactly. Or are we going to like chicken out? And no one really would stay. We were just kind of standing there. And my husband had the brilliant idea of somebody find clear trash bags. We'll start covering everything. So you can actually see it in the film. Like, there's trash, like clear trash bags covering some of our equipment. And we just decided to go for it. We were like, whatever. And as we were walking out, or as I was walking out to go do the first song, literally torrential rain started to just lighten up and get to a drizzle. And by the time I think I was in like the first chorus of the first song, it wasn't even raining anymore. Wow. So it was a very, very cool, because, you know, Red Rocks is so special. I never in a million years dreamed, like, it wasn't even on a bucket list for me, because it wasn't in my realm of thinking that I would ever be at Red Rocks. And so I remember having this moment standing there and going like, God, you didn't like bring me this far for such a special thing to like just have to not perform at all because of the rain. So it was a really amazing special thing. My whole family was there. They were sitting like right in front of me during the whole performance. And so it was awesome.
Looking back at that night, what are some like super special moments that you remember that is when people see this movie, they're like, wow.
Gosh, I mean, on a personal note, truly like standing there singing Peace Be Still and watching thousands and thousands of people sing it, and my family being there, my husband, my daughters, my mom, her husband, like, it was actually such a special moment for me personally, because my mom has really truly been like my biggest champion. She prayed over me when I was a little girl that I would sing songs for the Lord for my entire life, and here I am at 42 years old still doing that, and doing it in a really special place in the middle of God's creation. Like, that is something I'll take away. My mom asked me when I finished performing, she was like, how do you feel? And I was like, I don't even know. Like, I have no words for just how special it was. So obviously that was amazing. But there were some really beautiful moments. Like, I really, really loved Kane. I don't think Windows Down had come out yet, or maybe it had just come out, but they did that night. And just that story of Logan's wife, it's so powerful. And that song is just, it's so beautiful. And I went into Nothing But the Blood, and it's a really special moment. And then, of course, man, We the Kingdom. Like, my whole family, we just kept standing there, like our jaws dropped, just so amazed at their ability to take excellence in their craft, and it still felt incredibly worshipful. And that's not an easy thing to do, I think, in our particular genre of music, to keep it like in this really tight tension of like, we're not going to sacrifice being creative or being artistic or, putting on something that is excellent, but not to the point that it tips over and it just becomes about us. Like, it still feels like it's glorifying God. And they do that beautifully, and they just sound amazing. So it was great.
Outside of this big screen debut for you this week, you also, just a few days ago, brand new song out there, Honey. Tell us a little bit about that one.
Yeah, so I put out an EP last year, and Honey is on that EP, but we waited some time before we released a lyric video, just because the life of a record, you kind of come out the gate running with a song, and then a second song, and then sometimes a third song, and then you feel like other songs on the projects, they just kind of get hidden, and I just felt like, okay, we're coming up on a year. We've released lyric videos for everything but 2 songs, so let's go back, let's release one for this. And it's been just really nice to kind of give that song new life. I wrote it with some of my dear friends, Andrew Holt, Mia Fields, and Austin Davis. So I felt like it was nice to give life to it. And then we have one more coming out on the 1-year anniversary of my EP. And so, yeah, it was really exciting to get to put that out there.
And once you get past some of this touring, I hear that you may be writing some new music, and maybe early next year we see one.
Yes. Well, I'm headed out on tour next week with Lisa Turkhurst. Really incredibly excited about that. You're going to make it tour. Lisa has just such a powerful story and testimony, and just her ability to be resilient and lean on God even in the hardest of circumstances. And these nights, half of them are sold out. There's so many women coming in carrying heavy burdens, carrying heavy stories, and coming in wanting to know, is the hope of Jesus real? Is the peace of this God that you talk about real? And so I honestly cannot wait to get out on the road and just minister. I love singing and I love leading worship, but really at the heart of what I do, I really want to just be able to go out and minister like a psalmist, like David, when he would go and he would play for King Saul, to literally minister to him, to bring ease and peace. That's my hope on this tour. So I'm excited, which leans into, I am working on a new project. Austin Davis, who I mentioned, he is producing it for me. And it's going to be just a really straightforward worship album, because that is what I'm the most passionate about, is getting songs into the hands of the church, and songs that can minister to people. There's songs that people can be singing on their Sunday morning, but also throughout their house, that is reminding them of the promises of God. It's reminding them to look to where their help comes from. And so it's been a really exciting season to be writing for that, because it's a little bit different. I haven't done just an exclusive all corporate worship album yet. And that was kind of one of my big long-term goals, doing this. And so I'm really, really, really excited. There's some songs that I've already been leading out on the road, and so I can't wait for everyone to hear them.
That's awesome. These past couple of years, a couple of these songs have really taken off, people singing them all over the country, all over the world. Does that put a little bit of pressure on you when you write a new record, that you kind of want to keep those hits coming?
No, it doesn't do it. No, I'll be honest, on my EP, I did feel pressure, and no one was putting that pressure on me, but it was just an internal pressure of oh man, if I'm going to do this again, I don't want to do it and feel like it was pointless or it was purposeless. And I had to wrestle through that, and had to really take that to the Lord and go, okay, I don't want to get trapped in this mindset of I have to produce in order to be valuable and worthy to you or to anyone else. That's just going to be a slippery slope. The fear of man is something we all struggle with on some level. And I think even as artists, we have to be really careful that we don't just kind of slip into that pit. And I'm really grateful for that season, and I'm grateful that God helped me kind of work through that on a really deep personal level with him, because we're never not needing to rework things out with the Lord, right? Things that always are circling back and coming up, or there's remnants of things, and I felt like God kind of got to the root of that. But for this record, no. And maybe it's because I worked through some of that with the Lord over the last record, but I think a lot of it is more this is where I'm the most comfortable, when I'm writing songs that are for corporate worship. That is what I have, chewed my teeth on for 25 years, both leading and then writing in the last decade. So it feels like there's less pressure because I feel like I'm not trying to craft my story. I'm not trying to like get into maybe all of the like nuances of my own life and my own storytelling. I'm just really trying to tell the gospel in a way that you can sing on your Sunday morning, or you can, so it feels different. So I'm hoping that that little monster of pressure doesn't show its ugly head, but so far I feel good. I just feel excited. I feel really excited, and I feel really purposeful, and I feel like God has given me a very clear vision for this record. And I heard Cody Carnes a couple months ago, we were doing this panel, and someone asked him, like, how do you know when it's time to like make a record? And he just said something that seemed so obvious and so simple, but like still like I needed to hear it. And he just said, you have to have a vision from the Lord. He's like, we make like time and like you have to do this or you don't have to do that. But like we make that up. He's like, but when it comes to like being a steward of what God has given us as artists and musicians and songwriters, he's like, you need a vision from the Lord. He's like, and then you need songs that you cannot wait to hand off to people. And he's like, and until you have that, he's like, just wait on the Lord. He's like, don't feel the pressure to just make something to make something. And man, that resonated with my heart so much. And I feel that way about this season. Like, I feel like I have a vision. And I feel like I have songs I can't wait to hand off.
Well, we look forward to the new music, and then big screen debut here in just a few days.
Yeah.
Couple chances for people to see
movie star
it,
moment.
Yeah, 6th and 7th. K-Love live at Red Rock's going to be in theaters, and you're going to be able to see this concert in a dry setting. They don't even have to get wet to see
That's
this.
right. You get to stay clean.
All right, look forward to that, and then new music coming in just a few months from what it sounds like.
We hope so, yeah.